Hey YouTube, it's Louie. Uh, it's been a while since I made this video. I can't remember when I exactly made it, but and I've actually not done research, but kinda looked into this. There's one thing that has not been answered. It kinda has, um, but I'll just go on with the stuff that has been answered. Granted, this has been said already in the comments, but I'm going to give the credit to this guy who sent me a private message. Uh, this is actually right after I received it, just because I've been planning on making this video for a while. He states that the Apollo astronauts landed on the day side of the moon, which I had not thought of before. Somebody said that in an earlier comment. So, granted, both of you are correct. This is W Spaceport, if I'm not mistaken. That's how it's basically said. If you set your camera, he asks me or tells me to set my camera to 125th at f8. Anybody that doesn't know what that means, don't bother because you won't understand it, and you don't use it unless you actually have a real camera. Uh, Setting for typical of the slower films used in 1969, which is when we landed on the moon. You should know that. Anybody? Aim at the sky and shoot pictures. Tell me you see stars. Aim camcorder at the sky. See how many. Now I used actually one of these. I've actually used. I think I used this one. Did I? I don't know. But use this camcorder here. Sony, just a regular digital camera you can buy anywhere. Best Buy, I got mine a little while back, and I shot it. I put it in the sky, see if I could see anything. Uh, Nothing came out. So in my face. And I have, as a photography student, when I started out, I shot stars for school. It was very hard. You have to hold it on bulb on my D200, which it can go down to 30 seconds. So holding it on bulb for a couple minutes and it's still hard to see stars. So I can see how cameras don't show it. I didn't really yes, I can see. Uh he also states if you have a hard time seeing the stars if you are in a brightly lit parking lot. Let me see. Even with the eye, you've had difficulty. Even with the eye, you'd have difficulty seeing stars from the daytime lunar surface unless you stood in a shadow and shielded yourself from any reflected light on the ground. Same reason you can't see. So yeah, you can't see stars on a brightly lit parking lot. Yeah, you have a hard time. You can see it, but it's hard. And the only way you could do that on the moon is, like he said, you stand in the shadow away and you shield yourself from any reflected light. Basically, go on the dark side of the moon. Uh, is basically what he said. So I can see that, and I appreciate people that actually challenged and gave me quick responses, not like going, "You fucking idiot," this. Because I believe one guy, I can't remember who it was, I really don't give a shit. He was like, take a picture of the stars, you can't do it. And you can, technically. Just the film speed. He gave me a film speed, which I did not know. I have no idea anything about film. And if they use the exact same things that photography uses at 125th at f8, I understand that perfectly. That is my kind of language, and I can see why that's very hard to get on a film. On if I don't know if anybody knows this answer or if it's just because of the same reasoning. On the way to the moon, you've got to be thinking people are looking up at the stars. See, they're looking out the windows. I mean, not all the time. Obviously, they have to be running the equipment, but you'd think that they'd be looking out there, seeing stars or something like that. If you use the same reasoning, the sun is hitting them, making it impossible to see. I can see how logically that does make sense logically. Um, I think that will be it for the landing on the moon. All I directed my points 2 were the stars, and that is all I will answer. I will admit I was wrong on here. So thank you for the answers that I asked to the questions I asked, and yeah, that's it. Louis 17. Bye bye.